Hi, what I want to talk to y'all guys today about are adjectives in Lesson 3. We're going to talk about how to manipulate adjectives and make them agree with the noun that they modify, and where to place adjectives in your sentence structures. All right, what you see on your screen right now is your textbook. This is page 106 in your textbook, which is your vocabulary list for Lesson 3. You'll notice that you have a list here in red of the adjectives. I'm going to blow this list up just a little bit, make it larger. All right, so that everybody can see the list of adjectives that I'm working with. Here you see a list of descriptive adjectives. You have the words alto, antipático, bajo, bonito, bueno, delgado, difícil, fácil, feo, gordo, grande, guapo, importante, inteligente, interesante, joven, malo, mismo, moreno, mucho, pelirrojo, pequeño, rubio, simpático, tonto, trabajador, viejo. All right, so that's your vocabulary list for the adjectives, and you'll notice that some of these are cognates, meaning that they look like the English. For example, the words importante, inteligente, interesante. You have some words that you might can guess from different chapters, like in the last chapter we talked about the verb trabajar, that meant to work. So a trabajador or a trabajadora is someone who's hardworking. Also, you may see vocabulary words like joven. Joven looks nothing like our English word for young, but we do have an English word juvenile, which is where this originated from. All right. And then you have words like bueno, you probably know that one already. And then you have the opposite of that one, malo, which is the word for bad, so you may have heard that before. So these are the descriptive adjectives for this chapter. Then you also have another list of adjectives up here on the top right, which are the nationalities for this chapter. When you get to the nationalities section on the Lesson 3 test, the nationalities are already written for you on the test in Spanish, so you don't have to know how to spell any of these nationalities. What you'll have to know how to do is to make sure that you know how to make that nationality agree with the noun that it modifies, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But let's run through these nationalities right quick. You have, starting at the top, alemán, argentino, canadiense, chino, costarricense, cubano, ecuatoriano, español, estadounidense, francés, inglés, italiano, japonés, mexicano, norteamericano, puertorriqueño, ruso. All right, so those are the nationalities, and you'll see that you also have an A/ after some of them, which is what we're going to talk about now. In Spanish, nouns have to agree with, or what we say, we also say modify, the noun that they're describing. So if you're describing a boy or a man or anything masculine, like if you're describing like the word edificio, which is a masculine noun that means building, or the word carro, which is a masculine noun that means car. As long as you're describing anything masculine, then you're going to use the masculine adjective, and your masculine adjectives are written here for you. Most of them you'll notice end in an O, like alto, antipático, bajo, bonito, bueno, delgado. But then you come to words like difícil, fácil, importante, inteligente. Now these are what we call gender neutral, which means that they are both masculine and feminine at the same time. So you use those even if you're describing a male or a female. All right. If you are describing a female, then what you're going to do, or a feminine adjective. So if you're describing like the word chica for girl, or the word mujer for woman, or if you're describing the word like clase, which is a feminine adjective that means class, or oficina, office, or in the last chapter you had the word biblioteca, the word for library. All of those are feminine adjectives. So if you're describing a feminine adjective, you're going to change alto to alta. That's what that the slash a means right there. It would be alta or antipatica, baja, bonita, buena, delgada. But with difícil, fácil, importante, inteligente, and interesante, those are all also feminine, so you don't have to put an A on the end. All right, so if the adjective here does not have an A after it, what that means is that it's gender neutral, meaning that it can go for a masculine noun or a feminine noun. But if it has an O with an A slash after it, that means that that has to be changed to feminine. All right, and so that also is the same concept with your nationalities. Now, some have an A slash, all right, like Argentino and Argentina, Chino and China. Some have an A added, like Alemán changes to Alemana for a female. Español changes to Española for a female. Inglés changes to Inglesa for a female. So there are some different variations with the nationalities. All right, let me bring up this Word document here. All right, hopefully you can see this Word document. So if you want to say, for example, tall boy, all right, or short boy, either one. If you want to say that in Spanish, what you have to remember is that descriptive adjectives we'll say usually, which is like 99% of the time, come after the noun they modify. All right, so in English we say tall boy. In Spanish, figuratively speaking, you're going to say boy and then the word tall. All right, or if you say a smart boy, figuratively speaking, in Spanish you're going to say boy and then you're going to put smart after it. So in Spanish, if you want to say tall boy, we're going to say chico alto. We keep alto masculine because chico is masculine. If we say smart boy, we're going to say chico inteligente. All right, because inteligente is one of those that doesn't have a slash with an A after it. That means that it's gender neutral. It can go with boys or girls. So if I want to say a tall girl, then I'm going to say girl first, and then I'm going to do what to alto? Right, I'm going to change it to alta. We're going to make the word tall agree with the word chica. If I want to say an intelligent girl or a smart girl, I'm going to say chica inteligente. And notice here that inteligente doesn't change because it is gender neutral. All right, now what am I going to do if I want to say boys, if I want to say tall boys? Well, adjectives have to agree in number and in gender. So that means that chicos is masculine and is plural. So I'm going to make alto masculine and plural. All right, and all I have to do is add an S because it ends in a vowel. So if I want to say intelligent boys or smart boys, it's going to be chicos inteligentes. So if I want to say tall girls, it would be chicas altas, and smart girls would be chicas inteligentes. All right, so notice we started out with this word alto and alta. That means that it's going to have four forms. You're going to have masculine, you're going to have feminine, you're going to have masculine plural, and you're going to have feminine plural. All right, these are all going to agree with whatever you're modifying. So even if we say building, which is the word edificio in Spanish, it is masculine. So if we want to say a tall building, we would say edificio alto. All right. If we want to say that it's a tall library, we would say a biblioteca alta, because biblioteca is feminine, alta is feminine. If we want to say tall giraffes, giraffes is jirafas, so that means tall is going to be altas. All right, and if we say tall buildings, edificios is buildings. So we're going to make the word tall masculine, and we're also going to make it plural. So edificios altos. If a word is like the word inteligente, that means that it doesn't have a feminine, but it does have a plural. So that one you're only going to see in these two forms, either inteligente or inteligentes, depending on whether or not the noun is singular or plural that you're modifying. So you could say clase inteligente, a smart class, or you could say estudiantes inteligentes, smart students. Class is singular, so inteligente singular, estudiantes is plural, so inteligentes is plural. All right, another example of an adjective that is gender neutral. Let's go back and look at that list for 1 second. Okay, so let's look at the word joven. All right, this word right here for young, joven. So if we want to use this word joven for young, all right, if we want to make it plural, this word becomes jóvenes. All right, the reason here we added an es is because it ends in a consonant. If it ends in a vowel like inteligente, you just simply put an s. If it ends in a consonant, you put an es. So if you want to say a young boy, you would say chico joven. Chico joven. If you want to say young boys, then you would say chico jóvenes. And the reason I'm adding an accent mark here, which may be a little bit higher than your level right now, and you don't have to know this, but the reason I'm adding an accent mark there is because I want the word to still be pronounced joven, with the stress being on that first syllable, like it was in the singular. If I leave the accent off, that word becomes jóvenes, and we stress the ven syllable instead of that jo. So we want to keep the stress on the first part, so that's why the accent mark is added, to make that word pronounced similar to the singular. So joven is the singular, and then jóvenes is the plural. But again, we added an es here because joven is, it ends in a consonant, so we have to add an es to make it plural. All right, so let's look at one more. Let's take the word trabajador. In your textbook, there is not an a/ because you're not changing the O to an A, but there is an A in parentheses. So that means that you can add an A if it's feminine. So if you want to say a hardworking man, then you have an hombre trabajador. If you have a hardworking woman, then you have a mujer trabajadora. All right, hombre is masculine, so trabajador is masculine. Mujer, the word for woman, is feminine, so trabajadora becomes feminine. If I want to say hardworking men, all right, how do you think I make this plural if it ends in a consonant? All right, all I'm going to do is I'm going to put an ES. So hombres, trabajadores is hardworking men. And then mujeres, trabajadora. And to make it plural, it ends in a vowel. So all I have to do is put an S. All right, so the basic differences between English and Spanish is number one, adjectives do agree with the noun that they modify. So you have to make sure that you know whether your noun is masculine, feminine, whether it's singular or plural, to make sure that your adjective agrees. And then the second difference is that most descriptive adjectives in Spanish come after the noun instead of in front. It comes after. All right, so if you have any questions, y'all let me know. Thanks.